Hi, hello. Welcome to the car again. Thank you for being here. The reason that we are in the car is because one, I just got back from a doctor's appointment, and two, my house is under construction, and so it is very loud inside, and you would not be able to hear anything that I told you, which is pointless. I am going to be starting today. I think it's like maybe 2 o'clock. I'm going to be starting a 24-hour readathon that is solely comprised of spooky thrillers and horror books because, one, I have lots of those that I haven't read yet, and two, it's October, so of course we're going to do that. I have this thing with thrillers and horror books where I wish that I loved them and I want to appreciate them, but most of the ones that I read are just kind of like I just don't get them. And so I keep on buying them and getting them and trying them. And I'm hoping that, like, of the 7 or whatever that I have, I'll find a good one somewhere. So that is the goal. I'm gonna go inside and grab them and then show them to you. And I will probably start reading them outside because, like I said, it's noisy and distracting inside. But I'm looking forward to it. I have never done a 24-hour readathon before. I'm a little scared. And so in order to help me with that fear, I have decided to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to, instead of taking a 24-hour period like one day and just trying to shove as many books in as possible, I'm going to set a timer so that whenever I'm reading, that counts towards my time of 24 hours. So if I need to stop to rest or rest, for example, rest my eyes because they hurt, or sleep because I'm chronically ill and need like 10 hours of sleep every night, otherwise I get really sick. So like in those cases, I don't want it to be like, it wouldn't be a true 24-hour readathon if I'm only reading like 16 of those hours, right? So I am going to read for truly 24 hours, and we're going to see how much content I can get into those 24 hours. We'll see how much fun I have. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, but you know, it's like I can get through 24 hours. If it's a terrible time, then like, oh well, at least I knocked some books off of my TBR, right? And honestly, it's not going to be a terrible time. I'm going to make a cozy little reading nook. Probably going to light candles. I'm going to drink tea. I'm going to stay up late and try and get spooked. It's going to be really great, and I am very excited. So let's go inside and grab our books. Okay, change in scenery. Welcome to the garden. It's a beautiful day, and I'm really glad I'm out here and I get the chance to read. I think it's supposed to turn chilly like maybe as soon as tomorrow, so it's gonna be great. I have some snacks, and I have the books. Here they are. Flicker in the Dark, Gillian Flynn's Sharp Objects, Things We Do in the Dark. Nope, I've read this one. Sorry. Daisy Darker. Near the Bone. Yeah, okay, so I have 4 physical thrillers. Here they all are. I also have 2 audiobooks that are shorter. I have Otranto's Castle, which is about 4 hours, maybe 3 hours. And I also have Mrs. Zant and the Ghost by Wilkie Collins, which is a short story, so I can put those on when I can't sit and physically read them, but I can like listen. So there we go. I think I'm gonna start with Sharp Objects because my sister told me to read this one like months ago, and she is pretty good as far as knowing what I'm going to like, and is a pretty good judge of thriller content as well. So let's go. essentials, flickery candles, book of choice, spooky pillows, the world's softest blanket, orange twinkle lights. Birdie, it's Birdie. Hey. Okay, let us talk sharp objects. It is 10:30 and I just stopped my timer at 5 hours and 54 minutes, which is how long it took me to read this incredible book. The last like 30% of this book, of the last 1/3 maybe, was phenomenal. Just like on the edge of your seat tension. Well, actually, this book was tension from like page 10. It was great. I loved it so much more than Gone Girl, which is another one of Gillian Flynn's novels. And yeah, I probably would rate it like a 4.5 stars maybe. I'm so happy that the first book that I picked up for this readathon was so good. I'm suspecting that the other ones are not going to be as good, but I'm okay with that. I'm like in such a good mood about this. So yeah, it's 10:30 at night. I probably could get another 2 hours of reading in. So I think I'm probably going to pick up A Flicker in the Dark, maybe? Okay, good morning. Welcome to Thursday. It is the next day and it's a little bit past 9 o'clock, which like I'm really surprised because I normally wake up at like 7:30 or 8, but I was up kind of late last night reading. I don't know, maybe like 2 a.m. Anyway, so here we are. It's the next day. I am excited to keep reading. I am, let's look at my timer. I think I'm about 7 hours into my 24-hour readathon. Yeah, 7 hours and 5 minutes. So, oh my goodness. I just pressed the button to restart it and it went back to 0. Okay, well I know it was 7 hours and 5 minutes, so we'll just do some math. I can't believe I did that. My fuzzy morning fingers. Last night I started A Flicker in the Dark. I read it for about 2 hours. I got this far in. I think I'm on page 150-ish? 145. 145 pages. Talk about thoughts about this book. It was really boring for like the first part of this book. I'm on chapter 18. I'm disliking the short chapters. I usually don't really like short chapters. They irritate me. And this premise of the book, it took forever for her to like set it up. I feel like nothing happened for a long time. It was just talking about the past and about the main character and her childhood, and it's just like, okay, we get it, this happened, she had some trauma, can we get to like the mystery or the thriller part? And it just now kind of started to pick up. So hopefully it will get more interesting now that we're a little bit farther in. But I'm going to go make a bracing cup of tea. A very strong cup of tea. This construction noise, man, I might have to like go somewhere else to read, and I don't know where that will be. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started. Right, well, I'm in my car. Well, I'm in my dad's car actually. Again, because one, I was running errands, and two, my house is kind of really chaotic at the moment. It's really hard to read. People walk past me and they ask me questions, or they ask me to do something, or there's banging or sawing because they're putting tile in downstairs, which is... So I'm going to actually sit in the car and read. I am this far in to Flicker in the Dark. I'm on page 255, chapter 33, and it's finally kind of getting interesting. I mean, like, we're at the place where like things should start ramping up, and it is ramping up, and it's okay. I'm enjoying it. It's not thrilling in the way that I want it to be thrilling. It's a little, I wouldn't say boring, but I'd say a little bit uneventful. I'm realizing that when I read thrillers, I don't just want like a plot that follows a certain formula of, okay, with this mystery, and we have the main character, we follow, we figure out who it is, and there's a twist at the end. Like, that's good and you need that, but also like I want there to be a vibe, you know what I mean? I want there to be tension that's almost you can't put your finger on why it feels spooky, or why it feels tense, or why it gives you that feeling of like being thrilling, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thriller, it's supposed to thrill you, and I feel like you have to be a pretty talented and gifted writer to put that into your novel. To start at the beginning with just like subtle hints, certain words, certain pacing will give you that feeling of just a little bit of uneasiness when you read it, and that's what I want in a novel. I don't want something that's just, here's the plot, it's exciting, and then there's a twist, and wow, that was great. So yeah, I am enjoying this. It's starting to pick up, and I will probably check in when I have like 50 pages left and tell you how I feel about the twist and everything. I mean, I'd say right now, nothing that has happened has surprised me, really. It kind of was like it's following the expected plot line. Like, I expected these people to act in this way. But it still is really kind of fun to read, and I'm having a great readathon. It's going really slowly. Like, I think I'm only like 10 hours in. I'm not even halfway through my 24 hours, and I'm like, yeah, it's like 2:30 or whatever on the second day of me trying to do this. Yeah, and no, it's 3 o'clock, so I need to like pick up the pace and do this. But I think I'm gonna just read in the car because it's distraction free, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. 50 pages left. I'm on page 303, and you know, we know who our murderer is, and our main character, Chloe, is heroically trying to capture him. And it's going okay. I'm kind of looking forward to having this book be over and starting the next one, but it's still it's entertaining for sure. But yeah, I'm really enjoying reading in the car. Nobody's bothering me, and I have like, you know, trees around me and stuff to look at. It's nice. I actually really like it. Okay, book number 2 is finished. I liked it. The end got a little rambly, but you know, it was good. far as ratings go, I'd say probably 3 or 3.5 stars. So yeah, pretty good. I liked it. We're gonna go on to the next book. I think probably I'm gonna pick up Near to the Bone, because I think that one is supposed to be a little bit more like horror and less thriller, and I really want something spooky to read as it gets darker. I think that's my update for now. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the first 2 books that I've read for this readathon. 100% read Sharp Objects. Definitely read A Flicker in the Dark if you're into thrillers, because it was pretty good for that. And we're gonna move on to a little bit more scary books, which I am looking forward to. I do not read horror very often, so and not because I don't enjoy it, I just really need to be in the mood. You know what I mean? It's definitely it's not a book that I can just pick up because I'm bored. Like, I have to really want it. And you know, it's October and I haven't done anything really spooky for October, and so I feel like the lack of spook in my life, and so we're gonna read a horror book, and I really hope that it freaks me out and that my heart starts racing a little bit. I want that feeling, the thrill, you know? So that's the plan. Hey yo. It's been a couple of hours. I'm still reading Near the Bone. I'm on chapter 12, that far through, so like a little bit more than pretty much halfway. And me and this book are not getting along. Like, I haven't been scared a single time. I'm just kind of annoyed with our protagonist. She's really irritating to me. I don't know why. The pacing is off, which is really important in a horror novel. Like, you really have to get that down to get a good to make a good horror book. Sorry, I'm like tired and I've been reading for hours, so I'm a little hazy. So I'm just like a little disappointed in this one, but I am going to finish it because it's pretty easy to read. Like, stylistically, it's not a difficult or challenging book at all. It's incredibly repetitive. So like, the point of view is of our protagonist, who is a kind of an abuse victim of her husband, and I don't want to spoil too much, but her thought process is just very one track, and it's just the same thoughts over and over again. And it's just, I understand the use of repetition in the novel and how it could be kind of a good tool to use, but in this case, because it's not done very well, it's just kind of hindering the story. So there's that. As far as the scariness level, you have kind of like 2 monsters in the story. You have like a literal creature that is a supernatural creature that's like hunting our protagonist, and then you also have her husband who abuses her and treats her so very badly. And so because the tension is split between kind of 2 villains, you can't really be scared of either one. Instead of giving it extra scariness, it kind of just splits your feelings halfway, and you're left feeling kind of like it's not really hitting the spot. So far it's okay. Not the best horror book I've ever read, but not the worst. So there's that. This is the second horror novel that I've read that features like a Sasquatch / Yeti type creature, and the other one that I read was also horrendous. So maybe I'm just like not into scary stories that have to do with like cryptids. Maybe that's my thing, that I just need to know that about myself. I don't know. If you know a good scary book that has a cryptid creature in it that's actually terrifying, please let me know, because I love cryptids and I would love to read a good novel about one. But this book is not one of them. So I don't even know what time it is right now. Probably like 9-ish in the evening, and I don't know how many hours I've been reading. Maybe like 15. But when I finish this book, which I am going to finish this book before I go to sleep, I will let you know my final thoughts. But that's my updates for Near the Bone. Okay, clearly this is the best angle to talk to you about this book that I just finished. I was not scared a single time. The ending was so abrupt. It was a little jarring. And I just felt disappointed overall. It wasn't badly written, but it wasn't well written. You know what I mean? I'm gonna turn on Mrs. Zant and the Ghost, and we'll see where I go from there. If I fall asleep or if I start Daisy Darker. But yeah. All right, it's the home stretch. I have 6 more hours left to go, 5 maybe. This is taking way longer than I thought it would. But you know what? I love it. I've been reading for like 2.5 days straight, and it's great. Yeah, I have been reading for just under 12 hours. No. 12 plus the 7 that I deleted. 19. I've been reading for 19 hours, so I've got 5 hours left. I listened to almost all of Mrs. Zant and the Ghost last night, but I was getting really tired. So I tried to sleep, couldn't do it because I drank too much black tea and the caffeine, and so I ended up picking up Daisy Darker to read it, and I am so happy that I did. Okay, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just read a chapter, but I actually got 71 pages in, and I just want to say, first off, there's a map in here that looks wonderfully like the Clue game board, you know, like the board game Clue, showing the like the map of Sea Glass, which is the house that they are all in when the murder happens, the family. And I need to tell you, so the grandmother in this book, her name, they'll call her Nana, is literally my dream. Like, I want to be her. She is me in another life. Like, I just love her. She is a children's poet and illustrator. So she illustrates and writes her own children's poems, and she lives in a big decrepit house by the sea that that is inaccessible whenever the tide comes in, and you can't get there unless you have a boat, and it's falling apart, and she has a bunch of creepy old clocks in her house, and Halloween is her favorite day of the year. She was born on Halloween, it's her favorite day of the year, but she's just like witty and charming, and I love her so much, and I want to be her. And she has an old dog that's her best friend. Anyway, so we're on page 71. The murder has just happened. Everyone is in a tizzy. I'm in a tizzy. I'm loving this book. So I'm very happy I picked it up. I have 5-ish hours to finish it, and I think that's a good amount of time. I'm gonna take it slow. My eyeballs actually hurt this morning because I've been reading so much, and I think also reading in poor lighting because I'm doing it at nighttime. But I'm sorry for the noise. If there's noise, my house is being built, you know, which is exciting, but loud. I will update you probably one more time before the end of this vlog to tell you how this book ends and my thoughts, and to wish you all a good time because, you know, I love you. So yeah, let's let's read the rest of this book. I'm so excited. And I read 4 thriller/horror books in that amount of time, and it was great. If I had to rate them, let's see. The best one was Sharp Objects by far. Next best, I'd say, was Daisy Darker. This one was so much fun. If you like cozy murder, but you're kind of, you feel like they are all turning out to be kind of the same thing. Like, I'm getting this when I'm reading Agatha Christie's work. I feel like all of her mysteries kind of feel the same after a while and they get uninteresting. This will knock you out because it's like, it seems cozy and it's great and it seems very Agatha Christie-esque, but it's different and the twist at the end is great. So I love this one. I absolutely love the grandmother in this book. I just want to be her so bad. The characters in this are so vivid, the scenery and the vibe, and it's absolutely perfect for autumn, especially October, because it takes place on Halloween night. And there's a thunderstorm, and the power goes out. Everything is great. It's just, yeah, you should read this. Okay, enough about that. Then I'd say the next best after that was A Flicker in the Dark. This was pretty enjoyable. I liked it. And then, least favorite was Near the Bone. I don't know if that's because this is strictly a horror novel, or maybe just the writing style, or maybe I'm not into like monster horror. This was definitely like a monster horror book, but yeah, that's my wrap up for my 24-hour readathon. You see my pumpkin? He's so cute. I had a great time. Today was my favorite day of reading so far for like all of the season. It finally got cold. It was rainy and drizzly all day. My mom made homemade soup and bread, like homemade bread, and I drank warm drinks and I huddled up in a quilt next to the fireplace with my cats all day, and I got to wear my jumper. I'm just like really happy. I'm very happy about this. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one and you learned about some thrillers that you could read for the season. I would recommend probably all of them except for Near the Bone, not my favorite. And I hope that you are having a wonderful fall and that autumn is treating you well and that you are enjoying the little things in life. And that you are reading good books because you deserve it. Everybody deserves to read a good book. So I will see you in my next video.